Hi. Today I wanted to talk to you about depression. I have clinical depression. I've had it since I was a teenager, but it got much worse in my early 20s. My first hospitalization was when I was 25, and I've gone in again since then. When I was, 31. I would say I'd like to give anyone out there who has depression a little bit of advice. Of what I've learned, I would say number one, if you have depression or you're having depression symptoms and they seem like it's not just a time of sadness because of something that happened, or even if you have really bad depression when you have PMS, number one, tell someone. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell a doctor. The majority of people that have depression never seek treatment, and I think that treatment can do a lot for you. I think it can help you to get through things. It can stabilize you. I've had long periods of extreme productivity where I was not depressed. However, right now I'm in a depressive state again. Today I'm actually having brain zaps, which is what I call them and a lot of other depressed people call them, and that's a side effect of when you go off a medication. They're not terrible because I've slowly gone off it. It was one that didn't work out for me. I am on some other ones that keep me stable enough to still be somewhat functional. However, my moods have been all over the place. I have about 3 right now. Extremely agitated and angry at everyone. So depressed that I'm crying and I can't stop. And then the last one is when I'm sort of okay, semi-functional, I'm able to laugh at things, I'm able to accomplish a few things, which is good. It makes me extremely scared whenever that dark place starts coming out, the crying times, that it's gonna get really, really bad again. So it's terrifying when that happens. There are some books that I'd like to recommend that can be helpful. One, I think it's important when you have depression to educate yourself. This book is called The Noonday Demon. It's by Andrew Solomon. If you watch any documentaries on depression, you will see this guy. He's had it. He's had it real bad. He's had it where he had to move back in with his parents as an adult, and he couldn't even cut up his own food. His dad took care of him. And it was after he published his first book. He was actually a writer anyway. And then he ended up over, I believe, a span of 5 years compiling this book, which you can see is it's fairly thick. This is an anthology on depression. It covers everything. It covers specific people, it covers depression, it covers bipolar, it covers suicide, and if you don't know that much, it will teach you everything you could possibly know just about, other than what the brand new experimental treatments are that are going on. I highly recommend this book, even if you don't have depression and you just like to learn things, but if you have depression, this could be very helpful to you. It's brilliantly written, amazingly researched, and this guy gives me hope because he had that and he got through it and he still experiences it, but he's on a lot of medications that help him get through it, and he wrote this book. Look what he accomplished through all of that. To me, that's amazing. To me, that gives me hope. There are some actors as well. I'm an artist, I'm an actor. A lot of artists suffer from depression. They seem to be, affecting the same part of the brain. These books are about artists with depression. This is called The Lost Soul Companion. It's written by Susan M. Brackney. It's all about artists and depression, how to get through it. Information about this, about artists that didn't make it, artists that continued to make it, artists that have suffered from it. And then there's also a sequel called The Not So Lost Companion, which is just more brilliance of the same nature, and it's great. I recommend either one of these. They're older, so they're quite inexpensive. I got these both on eBay. They were very inexpensive. I don't want this video to be too long because I'll probably start crying. And I don't, it's not a sympathy you know, I'm not asking for a bunch of people to say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I hope you feel better." And those are nice, great things to hear, but it's more about, I just want anyone out there that is looking for some solace and someone else that's dealing with it and someone else that's getting through it and that's making it through it. I've never attempted suicide. I am 34 years old in a couple of weeks. The bad times will still come for me, but I have hope that with the amazing new medications and treatments and doctors that are out there, that it can get better. I don't know if there's going to be a cure anytime soon. I think someday in the future there could be. I mean, if we can clone a sheep, I don't see how we can fix a problem in your brain chemistry. And that's the other thing, too. It is a real medical condition. There is a malfunction in your brain. It's not a, you know, buck up, you're not thinking positively enough, get through it kind of thing. It is just like, and it's most commonly referred to, diabetes. Your body doesn't have the ability to make glucose, to deal with glucose, to process it correctly. That's diabetes. Well, with depression, your brain, which is what regulates your emotions, does not have the right amount of chemicals to properly deal with how your emotions are regulated and what you're feeling. The most commonly areas affected by this are the area in your brain that creates serotonin, the one that creates norepinephrine, and the one that creates dopamine. These are all the things that make you able to feel happiness and that regulate your emotions. That's why a lot of people, when they are super depressed, there's two things usually that they will do. They will either completely retreat, give in to it, and give up, because when it's super bad sometimes there isn't anything else you can do. The other thing is you will do absolutely anything to feel better, to feel normal, including self-medication. This tends to involve drugs, alcohol, you name it. I know this from what I've read, from people that I know who have depression, from my own experience. I used to drink way too much in my 20s, and it took me a long time to realize that that was just making it worse, but it was helping me get through at the time, and it made me feel normal. It was something that made me feel normal. So anything that I've learned from that, I don't do that anymore. I don't even really go out. And now I know that the things that will help are eating right and exercise. It seems stupid. Everyone's going to tell you that, and those are going to be really hard things to stick to. But over time, those things will help. But you also probably are going to need to be on a medication. Don't fear that. There's nothing wrong with being on a medication for life. Lots of people are, for lots of different disorders. Also, when you go to find a psychiatrist, don't just go with anybody. If you get one that's making you feel worse about yourself, say, forget about this person, I will find someone else. There are lots and lots of doctors out there. I finally got insurance, and now I have what I consider to be just about the best doctor out there. He graduated from Harvard, magna cum laude, which is at the top of his class. He's an older gentleman. He does a lot of amazing things. He's only part-time, really, because a lot of the time he's being an expert witness, psychiatric witness in criminal cases. But he did decide to take me on and see me, and just knowing him has been giving me hope and has been helpful. And the other thing that's helped me is my mom, because I don't care what anyone tells you. I believe, and I think it can be proven through science, that depression is genetic. And most people that have it will find that someone in their family, even if it's not in their direct family, somewhere in their line, someone else had depression. Try to have sympathy for people that have it. Please try to educate yourself and understand that it is a real medical thing, and try and help me kill the stigma that it's made up, or that it's a fad, or that it's something that you're just wanting attention for, because that is all bullshit. I know from being inside of it, and I have friends that are smart enough to understand it even though they haven't experienced it, because they're intelligent people. This will probably be a series because it's ongoing, and you know, obviously I talk to you in times when I feel alright, and I do alright. That's been all of my videos until now. And there'll probably be other ones where I'm doing worse. But it's not about me. per se. It's about learning about it and understanding about it, because it is an epidemic. And it's a horrible, horrible, horrible thing. It's the absolute, it's like a living death, which is what I referred to it as, and I think other people have as well. There also is a person that I want to link down below, and when I was thinking about having ECT, I found her on Facebook. Her name is Rachel Starr. I asked her if I could link her, and she said it would be okay. We're friends on Facebook. I've spoken with her via email before. Thank you for watching. Just got out of the shower. Forgot a few people to mention. And just because I don't mention you doesn't mean I don't adore you and love watching you and greatly appreciate our friendship. But I'm mentioning people that I've specifically spoken with depression about, and some of them actually have it. So I'm going to link them down below, and they are xoloveleti, Shoudra Stargleam, Viv Valore, Grace from Cosmetic Couturier for creating our wonderful forum that we can all help each other through, Jamie from Jamiekinsx. Oh, I always get her YouTube name wrong. I really need to memorize it. Celia from the Homespun Mom, Sharie from Secondhand Sweetness 7. I believe that is it. If I've forgotten anyone, I will also link them down below.